We are almost there. Oh. Again, thank you everyone in here and also online. I think we start with our chantings and then we go through the chants. Yes.
Okay, prayer book, page number 3, please. Page number 3. Ngài san je je dan so je yo nam ba yang jo bar do dai ne ja so je da ge je so je be so nam je do la man je san je do ba sho san je je nam so je yo nam da yang jo ba do da ne ya so je da ye je so ye be so nam je And the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent. I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. And by the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for sake of all sentient beings. Oi man nam ka da nyen bi sim chan ham ye de wa dan de ve ju dan nam ba jo je nam ha dan nam ha je ju dan ra wa jo je Alme bede vada me brava George Niren jada yin amra le danyam dana bra George ma nam kadanyam bezem ya May all Mother Sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and causes of happiness. May they be liberated from the suffering and the cause of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness thus free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Ngồi tròn so wa dan cho dân ya ga dan ye so ye ngồi chen so wa ye ye wa ye so da ye so wa tam che so pe yan yo Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying, for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, all these I Oi chao den ye de me jam len ya da ye don som yong da cha zhe me jan wan dor je ja je dong lam ben shao lan do de tai do sam yo jo la be jen ye la she to je ja nen ye mo ba se na ja sim pro pro to to ba jen ye lo unequaled refuge ornament of the world. Your fame pervades the 3,000 worlds. You are the victor, Vajradhara, without a doubt. I bow the feet of the Father Jigdan Somo. Continually think of one but you, compassionate one, grant your blessings. Dispel the darkness that surrounds my heart. Please bless me so that I may realize the unelaborated natural mind. Ngā sā shē pō chū zhō shā mē dā dā rē rā lēn shē nē dā yā mā dē sāng yā shē wā mē dē pō wā yē rō gā nām dā The ground is sprinkled with sentient water and is strewn with flowers. It's adorned with a mirror, the supreme mountain, the four continents, and the sun and moon. As a Buddha field, I offer it. May all sentient beings attain the happiness of the Buddha fields. Om Guru Depada Gini Ratna Mandala Brodin Sohan Sem Janam Ye Sambada Loye Ye Prajetabar Che Chon Tong Mon Tek Ba Ye Cho Je Holo Or De Sol. Please turn the wheel of the Dharma of the two vehicles in their combination according to the dispositions and likewise the mental capacities of sentient beings.
Shabji bimodo dhamame balango rabdo dudargo samku bajimbo kone jan sarshin jabzan chewo jewane sarab jenjong watan jedo dutsewa jimbo kone jesu son jushin jela baranza dozo konge jarson tabe mungon kasan zamben don rashin zambe sewo sandro zarvin dokun mege desi Tujindama kune jurenji tensom jinkong jabe tawon be magar bodharan dalo yen zore yon urjen solan pe medan boze gerbe nam doron jon lenjir Zenzo be yo tenzom ba be manjung ne dalo ban zore yon shinji dangan shishin sekbin chense jinko rao kongshin rukun senmo mamba senze lo rukun de nyende Kudan yajir ba me gongchun kalan ze ba kan jen brashun kune ga we zo gen chu yin cho pe ma kar bon zun be shar lu son o zar dang ge chawai yin ke ma zar lo run jo zo re yang jen la ge ba mo da ye jong gong re do ga rin jen yin gong go yo den gun jung ga we ji zar Ningbo tongse bebe namjirwa chame wazar shabje da ye jong chi ya kung seng cho la ji se zar chame wazar yong cho tu ten ho sar long chen nam ke namjirwa jing me ling be sha la sor wan de che dar jar we se bo sha wa la nang de cho pe wang cho sha wa Zuan pancho dong a rong zheng jing mi chu ji wang bo da ye zhong ri dong jian bar shun lu shi la le gong bei long bei bo bei der jie Lung do chun zi jiam zong a dan chu me bam jiam yang nan jia la ge jian za ya den song ji gun dang yam na yang ga rin song ji gun le la bing Sawe la ma da la sor wan de da song zhe we lo na chu la Okay, we are If your motivation is already great, then it's wonderful. Maybe still have a little bit room for expanded. There's corners of universe that still need your light, compassion, and bodhicitta. If your motivation still needs to improve, this is the right time to change in a positive way. The rest of our activities, we are involving Dharma activity, is count as study or listening or even reading, chanting, studying, listening, or count as Dharma activity. And sometimes, of course, we believe that meditation is the only thing that we care about and only that we need to do. That's also, of course, truth, but it's only half truth, I think. We always have this body, speech, and the mind, and often, especially the tantric, even when we talk about 10 virtues or 10 non-virtues, the very basic things is there is how many belongs to body and speech, how many, and then kind of how many are involved with mental activities that count as a virtue and a non-virtue. And then it comes to Vajrayana, we have this Kaya Vak Chitta, or the body, speech, mind, or in Tibetan, Lu Ngok Yit, or Gu Song Tok, if we honorific term, or involves all these until we control our how we act bodily and how we speak, communicate gently and in a good persuasive way, or thinking kind of a positive way, then we are still not doing kind of holistic way of treating oneself as a person. And that's why whatever activity is, in order to become that as a pure Dharma, we need to generate bodhicitta first. That is a sort of requirement for Mahayana teachings. And the bodhicitta has two aspects that we often discuss. We have to have these two aspects. That you want to become a Buddhahood for the sake of others. So you want to get enlightenment, not sake of yourself, sake of others. So that's important part. And that we call the vast motivation, which is bodhicitta, is a vast motivation. You can expand as much as you can. And then there's the method of what secret mantrayana motivation, which is think about when the whole purpose of practice is involving, we want to change ourselves, environment, and around whatever we see. So the Mantrayana teaching or practice is introducing us that we can visualize the deities to change our perceptions. We recite mantra to change our speech in a mantra, and we also can change our thoughts in wisdom or realization. And through this way, our motivation, we can start the very beginning with the bodhicitta, the motivation, two motivations. One is sort of broad, and then one is sort of method, that's secret mantra and the motivations. We can think not only the deities what we revere or respect, but also surrounding us, teachers and our whoever gathering here or beyond, all are primordially enlightened, and that way our perception is sort of changing in a certain way that we can interact things that gently and easily. So if we respect every single entity or whatever appears as a deity, then we would have not much problem in a sense. That is Vajrayana basics, and if we have these two foundational understanding or motivation, then whatever we do, practice or participate in some teachings that will help us, and then future the practice will grow, and then maybe one day kind of complete or perfected in a sense of in a Dharmakaya. So that's the whole purpose of that. And then this particular text, last night we talked a little bit about the structure of this text. It's 13 chapter text that put in a sense of the first chapters are talking about the ground, and in English these days used as ground. Tibetan we call He, but sometimes people translate as the basis or foundation or things that we need to understand, or the things that to be understood, which is called ground. First we need what we are doing, kind of. We think about ourselves, how much we understand, what the reality is, and in a way of understanding reality is very important. And whole Buddhist teaching is the misconception is taking us in this wonderful situation, as sometimes we call samsara, but if you treat gently, it's not that bad. Still can enjoy it, and enjoy too much is not good, maybe. So that misconception, misunderstanding, the confusion, rise of somehow we missed something. We didn't see reality. Somehow we imputed something. We created something that never existed or never happened or never even there's no roots of that. One of them is self. That is the main target of all Buddhist teaching, entire Buddhist teaching, because problem is coming from here, not coming from out there. And that's we call ignorant, and Four Noble Truths, of course, everyone knows that's the basis of all Buddhist teaching, and that goes all the way to until enlightenment. There's no way to understand whole Buddhist teachings and wrapped it in these Four Noble Truths. And Buddha himself, very first teaching is saying we need to recognize suffering. Somehow we even don't recognize suffering, how we can recognize our nature. Sometimes we think I have a tremendous suffering, why I don't recognize suffering. Suffering is a very tricky one because if we don't understand until suffering is pervasive or almost all compounded things are suffering, then we are missing something. We are sort of too involved in caught in some samsaric situation that sometimes maybe think that's not too bad. This is not too bad. So, but the message is we need to recognize every single one of them would cause suffering, and that's bad news, but also not that bad news. It has cause, and we can eradicate the cause. So that's the purpose. The second Four Noble Truths is cause of suffering, ignorance. Yeah. So the whole Buddhist philosophy is try to figure out what is this cause of the suffering, or how we misunderstood, how we missed that very beginning, that how we involve in this confusion, and why even a Dharmakaya or Buddha nature is our own mind nature, but somehow it's too close. That's why we don't recognize it. So that is the main sort of two samsaric causality or causal result presenting in there. And then the good news is we can kind of think about our own nature, and due to that we can attain, or either we call Buddha nature or Dharmakaya in our lifetime or many lifetime, or that's up to us to how many lives we want to take, but still there. And in order to attain enlightenment, we must kind of practice which is called path. So the path is important. You can see the whole Four Noble Truths teaching is start with the result and then talk about the cause. So this not usually we talk about the cause first and then result, but we need to recognize the result first and then the cause in order to eradicate the suffering, cause of suffering, or suffering. Then we need to get rid of cause of suffering. In order to we attain enlightenment, we practice the cause of this enlightenment. So that is the whole Noble Truth. You can see how logically and also very manageable to understand who we are and what we are doing, and how we can hopefully get out of this situation. And this book is we say the ground. So the ground is pretty much talking about if we are confusing or confused based on what? Something already dualistic things there. That's why we chasing that, or there is no conceptuality or anything that sometimes in the Madhyamikas we talk about 4 extremes or 8 extremes or more extremes that we think about, especially when talk about emptiness. Emptiness is pretty much based that we can imply, not only the Madhyamikas, not only the sutra level, but Mahamudra and Dzogchen level, that emptiness means something that you see, hear, taste, smell are not there. That's just deceiving appearances that tricks you to get in a samsara. But that is also not coming from outside to appearing to us. It's we project that. So pretty much we are, sometimes you can see small kitties that playing with their tails, they don't know this tail is some small mouse is running around. They think, maybe, I don't know. But so that kind of situation, and we are, and in a Dzogchen, in a sutra level, maybe we talk a little bit about the ignorant is caused by ignorance. So it don't really go that far to explain difficult questions that we have. Where does ignorance come from? Ignorance comes from ignorance. So the cause of ignorance may very much ignorance itself. But Dzogchen and Mahamudra, and when thinking about Buddha nature, then our Madhyamikas, the ignorance arises from either emptiness or Buddha nature, or if we think about Dzogchen, then it's a ground. That's the base from the ignorant. Fortunately, if you have time, pretty much we are all Garchen Rinpoche's students somehow. Maybe some are future Garchen Rinpoche's students, maybe. But Garchen Rinpoche is going to teach this Samadhi prayer in the new year. And that's the very first few lines talks about this one ground, yet two path and two fruition. It's talking about this text, which means the one ground means sentient beings and Buddhas, enlightened beings. We are sharing one ground. Sharing, or we are nothing but the one ground. So that is the Buddha nature, yeah. And then somehow sentient beings have this situation that involve to misunderstand our own nature, and that's just taking another path. So there's two paths are coming. Then enlightened beings are recognized on nature, and we sentient beings are somehow misunderstood, and confusion arise, and samsara appear. And then two fruitions or two results follow by this understanding and the misunderstanding, realizing and non-realizing, is also recognizing, non-recognizing. So these took place. Why I'm telling this kind of general understanding of Buddhism, because this is the text wants to talk about this ground, that singularity that is not really cause. It's not causing to ignorant, but due to its dynamism that arise, appear, and we look outwardly, and if here someone are sentient beings, we don't know, but if there is any sentient beings that look outwardly and see colorful things maybe, and chasing that, and make judgments that this is good, this is bad, and this is so and so forth. That cause us to appear in different forms and different size and different colors and different ideas arise. So we all are nothing but nature itself. And these texts will all talk about how it rises and how even rising from this ground, but we are still in the ground. So we never kind of depart from this ground, cannot, because Dharma Dhatu is sort of container, no matter what appear in a samsara or nirvana, it's just occurring in the Dharmata. If we think about if any reflections appear on a mirror, but it's never go beyond this mirror. So it's occurring in a mirror. So it doesn't really matter. It's a good thing or a bad thing occurring in a mirror. And that is the main purpose of we need to understand the ground. And so whole Buddhist teaching is until we understand correctly, then we have no power to kind of free ourselves or go beyond this realm. So that's why it's important. And of course, then we often discuss this truth. What is truth? Sometimes in English, it's a little bit difficult. There's too many truths, they call. And when say reality, maybe that's also not reality. It's the language itself. It's a little bit difficult to what true reality means. So here, often used in a Buddhist term that ultimate reality. So it means, I'm thinking Nagarjuna's term that ultimate reality is it's uncompounded, it's unchangeable, as cannot alter it. So if this is ultimate reality, then it would stay exactly in the same way. And maybe first, I would say that that's why in the Dzogchen and the Mahamudra, meditation or view, understanding and the meditation, realizing and meditation are matches the reality itself. And sometimes we call it emptiness. In the Chandakirti's Madhyamaka Avatara, the term understanding emptiness is your concept or mind is match or dissolve into emptiness. That is called understanding. It's if there's two things, subject and object, that means duality. So emptiness cannot understand until you become emptiness. That is sometimes hard to swallow, but that's what we are dealing with. And this reality, the ultimate reality, We choose that because that's, we thought, reality. And the conventional truths are conventional, and even the sutras say there's only one truth, and that is ultimate reality. So if we choose two truths, which one is truth? There's only one truth. This one truth is ultimate truth. So these ultimate truths means then the conventional truth is more temporary and advantageous, things arising, ceasing, unpredictable, and all sort of causality, and even in Buddhism we talk about many causes, many conditions that would arise things, means it's unpredictable. There's nothing you can copy that exactly what it is, because it's based on momentary and based on each one's perception, based on how people see things. So it's unpredictable that we cannot copy exactly what it is. And as I said, Nagarjuna or any teachings that the Buddha nature is unchanging. It's like space, and it cannot change. If there's something changing, means that's not reality. And we need to understand and finally realize this ultimate reality, which is the only truth. And once we understand, then we would see that all other activities we do care about, making neighbors suffering, those are unnecessary, will become. So then we will be free from ourself, from suffering. That's called nirvana or enlightenment or awakened state or Buddhahood that we will attain. So that is pretty much in the entire Buddhist teaching is. Then how we practice is a little bit different. And as I said, Tibetans believe that the chanting, reciting, circumambulation, and meditation, and also making tormas and offerings all count as dharma activities that collect virtue. And of course, not only how we think, but we also need to change our behavior in a certain way. And that's ground is we need to understand correctly. In order to understand correctly, then we need to learn some authentic texts that we can read the whole Buddha Vajana. Now there's so many texts already translated in English. There's 84,000 translation group that producing a lot of texts. If you don't read Tibetan or Sanskrit or Chinese, you still can read English there. If you have time, that's wonderful. And especially emptiness sutra that talks about emptiness. There is a mother sutras they call, and the Panchaparamitas, yeah. And there's 18 volumes you can read. And if you don't have time, then you can summarize a version of Nagarjuna's Mulamidamaka Karika or Chandakirti's Madhyamaka Avatara or Chandaraksita's Madhyamaka Alamkara or any of these texts that help enhance your view, your understanding is very important. And then you don't really have time much, and you want to very much go into the practice to the preliminaries and so forth. Then we have Gambopa's Joy Ornament of Liberation and Batu Rinpoche's Devote of My Perfect Teacher. So these two are very much everything in there you can look at. But I'm not saying you should jump into the view to how describe the Madhyamikas and others. But of course, we need to go step by step to build our foundation first. So those are important things that I sometimes mention, but sometimes people get annoyed because there's too much preliminaries. Why we need to jump into the meaty part of the text. We can do that. So now sometimes maybe these texts is a little bit difficult to beginners if you don't heard the terms and the concept, and that you are very much very comfortable. Your comfort zone is this nice presentation of kind of sequence of how we come here, how we go back there. I don't want to say too much, but we can discuss that. Even sometimes we stuck in the two truths that seems nice layout, that understandable and conceptualizable things. So sometimes maybe, how to say in English, pull the rug off.
Pull the rug out from underneath you.
Yeah, these texts would do that. So don't worry, it's shaking is